Hey guys, I'm back today with my top 10 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think because we are a critical website, people tend to forget that we very much like most of the material that we cover. I think it's entirely possible to enjoy a piece of media while still being critical of its problematic aspects. Because we do what we do for the public, we also come under some critique. More often than not, people ask us, why do you do it, or why do you watch it if you hate it, or they accuse us of not liking anything. So for us, it was important to take a pause to say, yes, there were things we loved about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So about my list. I know a lot of people like to factor in rewatchability into their favorites or best episodes, and that won't be a factor for me because I've seen every episode exactly once. On that note, here's my top 10. Number 10 is Passion, Season 2. It's funny because I had been critical of Jenny Calendar up to this point. Like, I just did not like her at all. But, you know, even so, at this point when Giles finds her body, it just... Number 9, Doppelgangland, Season 3. I love Allison Hannigan, and I think she's one of the better actors on the entire series, so watching her play off her vampy self was a lot of fun. Number 8, Who Are You? And if I were cheating, I'd put a / This Year's Girl from Season 4. Faith as Buffy standing in front of that mirror practicing being Buffy, that whole because it's wrong, that whole scene is one of the more iconic ones to me when I think about Buffy. Number 7, Prophecy Girl. From start to finish, that episode is incredibly memorable. Watching her in that pretty white virginal dress, you know, fighting the bad guy, coming back from the dead. She had her crossbow and her leather jacket. The fact that so many of those moments really stick out, so many of those lines, I may be dead, but I'm still pretty, that is the makings of a great episode. Number 6 is Innocence, again, if I were cheating, coupled with Surprise, Season 2. This is one of those things that I have to say I like, but it is problematic. I had no idea this was coming. I remember freaking out at the end of Surprise, it would be, thinking, did she just break him with her vagina? And indeed she did, friends. Indeed she did. And what came after was Innocence. And if you were at all invested in Buffy, you felt for her and for what she went through. And still at the end, when she just, you know, kicks him in the nuts, you cheer for her. Number 5 is Restless, Season 4. I don't know if they made it and then made things to match, or if they really had that plan going forward, but whatever it was just wonderful to see. Wonderful as a first-time watcher to speculate about what everything meant, and it really did have that dreamlike quality with the cheese man coming in, and he meant nothing, but sometimes your dreams don't entirely make sense, so all those little pieces really came together to create this episode that's probably unlike anything I've ever seen on TV. And on top of that, it really was, you know, Season 4 ended the episode before, and this was just a little tacked on thing, and I love that about the construction of the season, that it just kind of took a moment to reset itself in a way that was still true to what was happening before. Number 4 is Once More with Feeling, Season 4. Number 3 is The Gift, Season 5. I think there was such finality, and it was done in such a beautiful way that you understood her sacrifice, and it didn't feel empty, and it didn't feel like she was dying for the sake of dying. Like, there was a reason and there was a purpose. But it wasn't the end. And we kept watching. Number 2 is Hush, Season 4. 3 of my top 4 episodes are Whedon messing with sound. So Once More with Feeling with all the musical, Hush with, you know, having that lapse in communication and dialogue, and then we get to number 1, which is The Body. So sound in The Body was just a little part of it, but he took away all the music, all the background music, and it was just so stripped down that it really enhanced the emotion of that episode. Lots of people don't rank this up at the top. They'll say, yes, it was a wonderful episode, but I can't watch it again. I could never watch that episode again. But I think when we're talking about best episodes of Buffy, The Body has to be number 1. At this point, Sweeney had some feels about it, this being the last Buffy thing that she did that we will do. So this is my last entry into Buffy, and I'd like to say that I believe that. I'd like to have a little more finality like Sweeney did, but I've already committed to rewatching Restless, and I think I've sent about 3 more ideas for things we could do with Buffy to Sweeney. So this is the end, except for the part where maybe it's not. So farewell for now.